Everyone, it's Oscar. Welcome back to a new video. Now in this video I'm going to explain the unique angle that I'm approaching cold email with in 2024 to book over 800 appointments for my agency in the last couple of months. And the funny thing, or the interesting thing about this, is that you do not need any pay on results offers. You don't need like a pay per client offer, a stupid guarantee. You don't need to work 100% on commission. You don't need any sort of Alex Hermosa style offer, and you don't need to put your wife on the line as collateral to sign a client, right? I've booked 800 plus appointments for Gomatic, my cold email agency, using this approach, and I don't have anything similar to Alex Hermosa style offer, right? So how does this work, and how is it different than what everyone else is doing, right? So what most people are doing is they are segmenting based on industry, which I am as well. So right here, this is like your target persona, boom, and it is a marketing agency, right? Now, what everyone does is they have watched YouTube videos on how to cold email and how to cold email on scale, and they've built their offer, so the outcome of their service. This is the outcome of your service, and what everyone does is they pitch the outcome to this entire industry, marketing agencies, and try to get them interested. So what happens when you do this approach is that you will sound like everyone else. And me, myself, not even I could probably find a unique angle to approach these guys if I lack the options, which you do with this approach. You don't know anything about them, so how are you supposed to make your cold email relevant? All emails look like this. We help, right? We help X, Y, Z. Do X in Y. That's what every email looks like this. And what ends up happening when you're following this approach, when you're using this approach, is that you end up competing on offer. So think of it like this. If you pitch the same outcomes as someone else and you have a refund offer, a refund guarantee, but the other guy, your competitor, he does it on a 100% commission basis, then who do you think your market is going to pick, right? There is no difference really between you two. You look and sound exactly the same. You have a similar website, use the same language to describe your offer. You have the same, made up case studies. Like, they are going to pick the commission guy 100 out of 100 times. So I don't want to compete on offers. I want to sell people on like the value of my service, but that's impossible to do when you're targeting an entire industry. And then, you have people who segment leads based on like the size of marketing agencies. And this isn't just for marketing agencies, by the way, but I'm just using it as an example. So you have people who filter like on size, you have like location, and you have like all of these different like sub niches, for example. You have all of these different things that people are segmenting leads on to try to make their emails more targeted. But none of them really works. So I'm not using any of these, right? So now, let me tell you how I source leads. I source leads based on my target personas, current process. And what I mean by this is that here is the outcome of my service. And this is more meetings. That's the outcome of my service. And on the other hand here, we have my target market, which is, like say marketing agencies. Now, these guys, marketing agency owners, they already have a process in place to get meetings. There are multiple different processes that you can use to book more meetings, right? So we have, for example, cold calling. We have cold email. We have paid ads, paid ads. We have, email marketing. We have SEO. There are many different ways to get meetings, okay? And what I'm doing is I identify their current process for getting the outcome that my service produces, and I segment leads based on that. So I segment leads based on the process that they are using. So to visualize this, think of it like this. Here we have, cold calling. Here we have cold email. Here we have, email marketing. And here we have, paid ads. And what I do is I segment them in. So we might have a couple of leads in here in cold calling. Then we have some in like cold email. It's pretty popular. So here we might have 3, and then in here we have, 2. And then on paid we have a guy 2, right? And then I segment them into these different processes. So if I know that someone is using paid ads to get more meetings, they use paid ads to get more meetings. Now, my job here is pretty simple. It's to explain that I have a solution that is better than meetings. So then I can adapt my copy to that. So to write an example here, my copy could look something like this. Hey name, other marketing agencies are turning off their Facebook ads after 7 days of using our system. And then our system, it has an 8 times lower cost per acquisition and generates 3 times more conversions compared to Facebook ads. Can I send over a video on how it works? Boom. And now we have a copy here. Hey name, other marketing agencies are turning off their Facebook ads after 7 days of using our system. It has an 8 times lower, you get the idea. Then I adapt my copy to their current process. And if I knew that someone was using, email marketing to get clients, right? Then I could adapt my copy accordingly. So if I take this and do that, then I could type hey, name, have you tried creating a look-alike audience based on your active campaign contacts? We did it for Ada Media, just some made up case study name. Another marketing agency, and they made we have 500,000 in 6 months. And I send over a blah blah blah. You get the idea, right? So these are just example copies. Don't copy them; they probably wouldn't work. But you get the ideas. You get the idea. When we segment leads based on the current process, we can write hyper relevant cold emails, right? So, and now you're probably wondering, well, it sounds great in practice, but how do we actually identify what process they're currently using? Because Apollo doesn't have a filter that tells you these guys are running ads, these guys are running email marketing campaigns, these guys send cold emails, right? And you're right, they don't do that. And Apollo, for example, can only indicate what technologies a company is using. But what we do to identify someone's current process, right? So we have process here. Process. What we do to identify this is that we use signals. And signals can be technology filter on databases like Apollo or like Lead Finder. We can scrape like LinkedIn followers. Right? We can, use Clayagent. All these sort of things. And some signals, for example, could be that if someone has, if we take tech filter, for example, then that would mean that if someone has, active campaign installed on their website, they are likely sending emails. They are likely doing email marketing, right? Now, if someone is following instantly on LinkedIn, they are likely using cold email. And Clayagent, then we can have Clayagent visit like a company's Facebook ads library and see if they have active ads. So ads, then that means they are running paid ads, right? So there are many different ways that we can find signals that indicate what process they're currently using. And this will never be 100% accurate, right? It will never be 100% accurate. But the response rate, the conversion rate from when a person opens the email is so much more higher when you're doing this approach. So it's worth the drop off. Say you have like a 50% accuracy rate. 50% of the active campaign, those who have active campaign installed on their website are running email marketing campaigns, then that's good enough, right? You just have to try and play around here. And this is the exact approach that I used in my YouTube video called I Tried Smartlead for 7 days and made like $7,000 in, that video at least. I used this exact process and I scraped people who liked posts related to cold email, and that signaled that they are currently using cold email to get customers, right? So that's how it works. And the cool thing about this, compared to like people talking about like sales triggers, is that this isn't really a sales trigger, right? If you're a cold email agency, you don't have to, target people who only uses cold email as a process. You can target, active campaign users, right? You just need to adapt your message accordingly. So once you scale this, approach, you scale horizontally, meaning that you have multiple campaigns. So every process, let me just call it that. Like here we have process 1. Here we have process 2. And here we have process 3. Every process has its own campaign, right? So let me just draw a quick one of these here. Every process has its own oh my god, that's awful. You get the idea. Every process has its own campaign. So if you want to scale this up to 1,000 emails a day, then you take like 5 processes and you send 200 a day across those processes, and that's how you scale it. So this is what I'm doing, and what's for sure is that every marketing agency, they already have a process in place for getting the outcome that you deliver. You just need to find signals that tells you what that process is. And it's actually pretty simple. Anyways, that's it for me. Hope this video helped you out a lot. And thanks for 1,000 subscribers. Cheers.